Hello, bonjour, buenos dias, namaste, hajime mashite, ni hao, assalamu alaikum, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Chan with Tekken for April 2022. I didn't check my audio levels, so sorry about that in advance. But yeah, Chan with Tekken, if you don't know, is basically three things. There are three main things. Views I'm working on for the channel, changes stuff on the channel, IRL stuff. Wow, that was a delayed three. Anyway. Under videos I'm working on, there's subcategories, playthroughs and streams, vlogs, DIY do-it-yourself stuff, how-tos and other stuff I might be making for the channel. The other two categories don't have subcategories because they're things that happened or didn't, with anecdotes and asides sprinkled in. So last time I was like, if I get to the next channel tag and we'll see what happens. But here we are. And then, I guess I'll say it again, but like hopefully next time, you know, we'll see. Yeah, I'm in a different setting. I guess I'll get to that in the IRL section. I still don't have anything to talk about as far as like videos I'm working on. I mean, that being said, I was pretty down last time. So, I mean, I'm still pretty down, but it's like, that's beside the point. So, I did finally play through the Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate DLC. Quite good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. The the new ending sequence that was, or not new ending sequence, but the end credit scenes on that, man, that's a game changer. Like it completely like, because like at the end of Seven Remake, stuff happens. You're like, okay, what's going on here? But then integrate kind of like solidifies, okay, this is happening. So it's like I'm it's like honestly, it's weird, and I'm fine with that. Like I said when I initially played it, it's like I'm cool with them like taking things in a new direction because it basically you're it's playing with your expectations. So it's like you don't know what's going to happen. So it's on the one hand, as much as I would like it to be like Resident Evil 2, where it's like just the same scenario that you're used to with like nothing altered and just like better graphics, better everything to make a better experience. I'm I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird what they're doing, but it's like, I'll take it because it's like, it's better than nothing. Point one, point two. It's like, it's gonna be a nice, fun ride with all this stuff where it's like, okay, well, what's gonna happen here, here, here? Like where you think something's gonna happen, something not gonna happen. Because I already did like weird stuff in the first part of like that didn't happen in the original, so it's weird, man. It's just like it's a whole new thing now. So it's just like that makes it exciting because you don't know what's gonna happen, and it's like even then, like whatever you know artistic differences they make, it's like they're still the original. You can go back and play on PS1, so it's like it doesn't ruin the experience of the original game, and so they're it's really, I mean, it's just, yeah, I guess it's just very bold and interesting what they're doing with this, and just the fact that, I mean, the more I thought about it, the more like upset I was about it. But then I was like, at the end of the day, it's okay because the original exists. So this just allows them to like do stuff with this remake that who knows what's going to happen, or like what's going to happen next. It keeps you on the edge of your seat and your expectations of like, oh, what's going to happen next. Just can't wait to play it. It does kind of bum me out the fact that like it had the part with them getting the ride. I'm not gonna say with who, and it kind of seems like they're gonna like cut out all the aspects of the open world, which is, I mean, I could see like why, because it just seems like it would be a a quite an undertaking to get all those resources or just all that into a game of like that scope of just that massive to get like also have the overworld. So it's like I guess they're cutting out the overworld and we're just gonna have the towns, which is that's fine. It just like sticks to like the main story beats. Um, I did quite enjoy the Yuffie stuff though, because I never played Dirge of Cerberus, so I imagine that's where those other characters were from. Um, I, but I feel like that's one of my theories I had with like after playing it was like, dude, I think they're gonna just like do everything. They're gonna just throw it all in here, and it's like we're gonna get like Dirge of Cerberus. We're gonna get, well, I guess Evan Children first, right? Because that's before Dirge. So yeah, we're gonna get. Well, that's weird. I mean, the weird part is, and I think like we might get some flashback sequences that do the before Crisis or whatever the cell phone game was called, and then Crisis Core maybe is going to be in there. It's like I feel like they're just like throw it all in there. It's just as long as the game continues to sell and like do good, right? It's like, man, the scope of this is going to be so ridiculous when it's all said and done. But it's like on the one hand that's cool, but it's like, how many parts is it going to be? So I'm just like, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's like this is going to take forever. It's like, yeah, we'll see. Oh, and like you got that, but you also got like the mainline entry of 16. But then I guess Yoshi P's over that, so Nimura can't meddle and like have any type of production issues. So that works out, I guess. I mean, it's gonna be like a weird time Final Fantasy the series because you've got the remake going. So it's like until that's wrapped up, it's like you can look forward to that. But then there's also like the mainline stuff, and then like 14, and then there's just so much going on there. So definitely, I mean, I didn't play 15, so and then but yeah, it does feel like the brand is in a resurgence, honestly, because 14 is like just such a high bar, and it's like it's at like a good spot right now, and it's been really good. And I heard whispers about like how good it was for like so long, and then like I finally played, and I was like, yup, and it's like every like bunch of people, and like now that like Inwalker, like ended the arc of that story, I feel like a bunch of people are gonna like jump into that and then get ready for like the next set of adventures. So it's a good time for the Final Fantasy brand, and if you're a fan, it's a good time to be a fan. Um, if you're wondering why the camera is like a different angle, it's because I have it on my lap. Because I had it on the chair, but the light was like super whatever, and then messing stuff up. So I was like, dude, let me just like see if I put it on my lap if it's better, and it is. So here we are. Um, but yeah, videos I'm working on. That was just a. I'm sorry, I can't help like gush about Final Fantasy Remake. I love that game. Um, at the end of the day, I might end up love hating it just because it's like it's like on the one hand it's faithful and it's like different, but then it's like I don't know. It's like I feel like I'm gonna feel very strongly, and like something's gonna like they're gonna like do something, and I'm gonna like end up like being upset about it. But it's like at this point I'm kind of like past it because it's like they already did so many things differently that I'm just like it is what it is. I'm on board because I'm just enjoying the ride, and it's like there's always the original, so it's like yeah, it's not like a 1-to-1 of like the original, but it's like that you can always go back and play that one, and then like this one's like doing its own thing, which is I mean, it's good. I mean, it's weird. It's very. I'm trying to think of like a better adjective than like weird. It's just like it gets yeah. It just it goes places. But it's a fun time. It's got action packed, and it's got all those characters that you know and love. So it's like it's got a bit of everything. It's like it's got the stuff that I liked before, but then it's like they all jazzed it up. Like they kind of like went over 9,000 with it. So it's kind of a lot of liberties taken, but it's cool. So I'm enjoying it for what it is, and not you know, it's like I'd rather have a remake than not have a remake, right? So there's that. Um, but yeah, I did want to play more JRPGs this year, but um, I mean I still will try to do that, but like right now, because I am just like kind of just bummed out about everything. I kind of just want to play some stuff. So I think I'm gonna go back to my list of stuff that I have like of short games and like try to knock those out. And then the last time I said like I stream something, but then like only put the first part up. Then um, I did get my channel remonetized, so it's monetized again. So I don't have to worry about that. So I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing, and then if it happens again, I will just go back to doing like the first part. Cause it's like, dude, that's just not enjoyable. Do you just like put the one part up and just like, oh, that's done? I mean, I can still stream it and then just put the one like the first part, but it's like that I'd have to start video editing for like the reviews and stuff, and that's just a whole bunch of work. And it's like that's why I do it this way. You can just export the streams and be like beep, boop, boop, done, and yeah, it's a fun time. So first up, I will probably be playing Thomas Was Alone because I've been wanting to play it for like a long time. It's not a very long game. But then like that's the order I was going, right? I was doing like JRPG, not JRPG, and then I guess technically you could count Intergrade as like a JRPG, and I did I think Guardians was like the game I did that previously. So it's like Guardians, Intergrade, and then we're gonna do Thomas Was Alone, and if I finish that, I will do Star Ocean. I believe I don't know. I have to look up the timeline because I want to chronologically go from like the first to like whatever the next game or the last or whatever. So, but I guess thinking about it, I'm not sure if I have all the games. So, but there are remakes of them. I just wanted to play a Star Ocean game though on stream because I haven't played one in a while, and integrity and faithlessness was not that great, and I kind of was like, man, I was led to believe these games are really good, and then I played one, and it was kind of. I honestly just want to get back to like the Saga series, but I want to like play something else before I go back to the Saga stuff. So 'cause otherwise I'll be playing that for like a while, and it'll just be like the only thing on the channel. And I still want to get back to the Yakuza stuff because I played up to three, I think, like the first three or something. So I still gotta do that too. But those ones are kind of those ones are like I want to get like a palate cleanse in between too. So I might play Star Ocean, play Yakuza, whatever the next one is I'm on. Go play something else that's like a JRPG or whatever. Because right now we're kind of in like a slow time, man. There's not a lot of games getting announced, but not a lot of release dates, or just like not a lot of stuff that's like on the horizon as far as it's gonna be coming out. So, um, I think Stray is like set for summer, but there's no date as far as like okay, June, July, August. What one month in the summer? And then it's almost E3 season. Well, E3 before it got canceled season. So it seems like there's a bunch of games that got announced that I guess were just like in the uh, in the can, and then it's just like, oh, there's no E3, so it's like they're not. It's like you might as well just like rapid fire a bunch of game releases. I guess PAX was out or PAX was happening, so I guess it makes sense to like time it around a con as well. So that usually happens too. It's like when the cons happen, there's announcements. But yeah, the Kingdom Hearts 4 thing happened. But then there's gonna be like the Bethesda in the future, Microsoft Bethesda Activision. That showcase is gonna be in June, so next month. Cannot not May yet, but once we're in May, it's like okay, that's next month. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll get like a Nintendo Direct date and a State of Play date. I'm looking forward to that really, really, really anticipatedly, because it just seems like I think Unreal Engine 4 or 5 rather. Unreal Engine 5 is like went into early access or whatever, but it's not like the final version. I don't know. It's whatever, but like it just went out, and so I feel like next year we'll see like the fruits of that. But then like the year after that, like anything that's like on an Unreal 5 will just be like final, like because it takes like what 2 to 3 years to like make a. I mean, depending on the developer and like the resources, it's like 2 years is like this like the fastest you'll get something awesome, right? So 2024 Unreal Engine 5 games, we'll start seeing those hopefully. Then next year, because this year I was expecting like a lot of stuff to happen or come out, because it seemed like because of COVID, a lot of stuff got delayed, but it seems like that's not happening. So it's like I feel like this year, next year is well, there's less this year than I was expecting. So I'm thinking next year and the year after that, it's gonna be like a ton of stuff. So 2023 and 24 in my brain are just gonna be like huge. It seems like it seemed like I can't remember. I was saying on social media like whatever like last year maybe like there's a bunch of stuff coming out or set to be coming out in 2022 or 23, but it would have to be 23 because it seems like there's not a lot of stuff this year. But then again, I could be wrong, because we had Horizon already, and the racing game I don't want to talk about, and then we've got Ragnarok still, so it's like 2022 could still pull it out, and we've got Starfield, so it's like that's a solid lineup right there. Sure, it's not like quantitatively like a ton of games, but it's like qualitatively those are all solid games. And then Nintendo's got stuff because I'm not gonna talk about Nintendo because it's like I got rid of my Switch. I'm just every time I think about it, it just makes me upset as far as just effing Nintendo, man, just whatever. I'm not whatever. I don't talk about it. It makes me upset. But yeah, those are the games that I'm gonna be playing probably on the channel, or put up videos on the channel soon. Thomas Was Alone, Star Ocean, either Last Hope or Till the End of Time, because those are both on PS or on my PlayStation, because I've got the backwards compatible Till the End of Time PS2 version that they put out, and then Last Hope like 4K. It got like a ridiculous name, like 4K edition or something. That being said, there is a golden sale or golden month, golden week. I forgot what it's called, but like there's that sale with all the like Japanese developers and publishers, games discounted on Xbox. So I was thinking of getting Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, like 13, 13-2, and then Lightning Returns, because I have 13 on PS3, but it's like just to like, you know, it's not so easy to stream all that stuff on PS3 because you have to like hook it up to an Elgato or whatever capture device. So I'm like, dude, let me just get all these while they're on sale now, and I can just like play them later during this year when I'm playing all the JRPGs. And I also have 15, which I haven't actually played before. I played 13, but not 13 Tour Lightning Returns because I didn't finish the first one, and I was like, whatever, 13. That's I was kind of like over the series at that time. I wasn't over the series, it was just like, you know, it's like kind of like whatever, dude. Like these, yeah. There's other games besides Final Fantasy, so I was over it. Um, but yeah, I might do that. I mean, that being said, this game's so long, so it's, you know, it's gonna be a while in between all of them. But yeah, that's. And I had a $10 thingy, $10 worth of like credit on Microsoft because of the Game Pass, like the Quest mission system or whatever it's called. There's like a whole thing. If you like do stuff, you get points and you unlock stuff. And I had like $10 in Microsoft money or whatever, so I use that towards SSX3, so I can play that on Series S. So I might stream that as well. But there's a bunch of licensed music, so I'm just like, eh. Yeah, it's like I really want to play that, and I really want to play Jet Grind Radio because I've got that on Xbox. But it's like the music is going to be content ID'd, so I'm just like, okay, let me, if I can figure out a way to get around that, or just like get the volume on the music anyway to like 0, so it doesn't do that. Which is what I did for Gran Turismo because I was like, oh, I got content ID'd on the first video, of course. Why didn't I just mute it? Because it's like, oh, well, maybe it won't. But then it's like, nope, they just don't care about the content creators, and they're going to leave them to their own devices to figure that out. All right. Oh, I said this game's name, and I'm, whatever. Anyway, um, so that's the video I was working on for the channel right now. Changing stuff on the channel, nothing's changing. Like, okay, in the short term, nothing is changing. But in the long term, I'm thinking of taking a break at the end of the year and then not coming back for like a while. Like a while, because I want to finally get into like the back end of my channel and like go through the Creator Academy and then like get all the stuff sorted out as far as like all the, you know, best standards and practices, blah, blah, blah. Like tags. I stopped putting tags on my video like a while ago and just, I need to get back to doing that. But just like, I've got so many, and it just feels like such a giant mess. And it's just like, I want to go through and like make sure they're all like, up to par. And I've got like so much other stuff going on. So it's like, I just want to take a break. And then like, because I have like a bunch of emails too, and it's just like my email right now is kind of out of control, and I want to get that taken care of too. Just, it's like I recently put in a bunch of like job applications, and I was like, dude, I kind of need to finally get I mean, I guess I don't. I could still like use the one I have, but it's like part of my brain is like, dude, you should maybe have like one that's not so. Or what did they say to have? Like, you need to have like a professional sounding email or whatever. Like, 'cause the one I have is not. It's not, and I'm just like, ugh, like kind of. I kind of do, but then I kind of don't. But I'm like, do I really need one? It's like, F them if they don't want to like hire me, whatever, right? So it's like, anyway, just a whole weird personal thing. Change the stuff on the channel. Yeah, like new channel trailer. That's happening whenever. It's like it's always like on the plan, like on the list of things I want to do, but I'm not getting around to it anytime soon. Change stuff on the channel. Changes stuff on the channel. Like, yeah, just nothing super major. I do want to take a break, and I do want to like. There's other like I have all these ideas in my brain. Like I say this all the time, but it's like, it's like I got all these ideas, but I never like take the time to like sit down and like get the ball rolling. So it's like I would like to do that. So I'm thinking about, like I said, that's why another time I'm just thinking about taking a break is because there's that. I've also some other stuff going on. I guess I'll just segue into part 3, IRL stuff. So I did. Speaking of like job, interviews or whatever, I did actually get a job. So 2019. Okay, here's like the sequence of events, right? It's like May 2019 is when I was like last employed and I quit my job. And then like I like enough money saved where I could just like not work, and it was nice. And then of course we know what happened in 2020 with COVID, so it's like I had like a nice nice good span there, and then it's like, oh, we didn't get into 2020 a couple months in COVID, and it's like, oh no. And so I was still like, cool not working, right? Because I had enough saved up. So like that 2020, that whole year, I just was living in my own apartment by myself till like November of that year. I moved in with my grandparents. And so that's 2020, yeah. And then that's the end of 2020 to 2021 was the COVID year, or COVID years, or more, or like the next year of COVID, right? Under Biden. And yeah, just still same old, same old. And then here we are now. And I am finally getting back to working because, well, there's a bunch of different reasons, but like whatever. It doesn't matter. Like ultimately, like I I don't have enough saved up, and I would have liked to like okay, here's like the goal, or like the end up game, like dream scenario is to like end up in Canada, but it's like it's so hard to get like a flippin' work visa, and I have like no job skills or like whatever, so I can't really. That's like, yeah, it's kind of like not really an option. So right now I'm just gonna try to like save up a bunch of money, and then again, because I'm quite good at that, so that's not really an issue. Oh my gosh, it's just such a ping. So I'm just like, that's, yeah, whatever. Working sucks. Nothing you can do about it. Um, but then like I I did, while I was doing my research on this, I was like, okay, well, let me like look at all 50 states and like what's a compared to like where I'm at now, because I'm in Kansas. I'm like, okay, let me what would like what would be better, like what would be an upgrade from like where I'm at now. And I'm like, well, the winter sucks. It's like freezing flipping cold. We just had a tornado yesterday, and like no severe weather would be nice. So I was like, okay, well, let me see somewhere that's like whatever, also like a low population, because I don't like high population centers. But then I don't go outside anyway, so it's whatever. But it's like that's a whole other can of worms. Anyway, actually, okay, whatever. I came up with like a whole like bunch of different variables, and I found a solution. I'm not going to say what it is, because the goal is to get there, and then I'll be there and be like, haha, I did it. And then like I'm not going to tell anybody because I don't want to, jinx it. So in my brain, I know what it is. So it's just a matter of like, getting there. And that's like, it's like getting to Canada seems like it's too much of a step up, because there's just all these barriers, and it's just like not as feasible or viable, which is really just effing annoying, because it's just like it's literally just like go north and you're there, and it's just like, but no, there's no like, I gotta have a work visa, all this other crap, and it's just like, dude, whatever, okay, whatever. I mean, it would probably like not so bad if I had like way more money saved up, and I could just like go there and then like try to find a job while there. But it's like that's not the boat I'm in right now. So it's like I have to just work back up to that in the other place, and until I get there, I'm stuck here. But like not like physically here, because I'm once I get my job and I can get into an apartment that I've been scouting, and that hopefully that works out, because dude, that's a whole other can of worms too. Is like that's why I was so like actually that wasn't last time, was it? Last time I thought I had found an apartment, and then I like went, like I was doing all this stuff this month to like try and get into the apartment, and then like I'm going down like the list on like all the stuff, and like I'm talking to the person on the phone and crap, and like it wasn't listed that I needed it's whatever. It's just like a whole thing about capitalism and how it effing sucks, and just like forces you to like just be in a crappy situation all the time. It's like, oh, do you have this? And it's like, oh, I don't have that, but it wasn't on the thing, and you didn't tell me until I was just doing this. So now it's like not back to square one, but it's like kind of just sets me back. Whatever. It's like whatever. I'll get there. It's all gonna work out. I'm not worried about it. So it's like whatever. And then it's just like I wish I was there now, but I'm not. So it's like I just go from where I'm at. So yeah, whoopee. Um, yeah, but that's because that's IRL stuff part one. And then last time I was talking about the whole, Democrats on the up and up, just like dropping the ball everywhere. They seem to have, had some viral moments though, fighting back. So hopefully they can all just like take that energy of like that Because that's literally what I was talking about last time. I was like, dude, there's like all these like anti-trans bills. There's all these effing anti-abortion bills, and just like, can we get some fighting back against the GOP here? Like, are you just gonna like lay down and let them walk all over us and like win on all these issues? And it's like finally, it's like something happened, and they're like, okay, it looks like, well, I don't know, dude. I've got like really, I'm like super pessimistic about like the short to long term here. As far as like in the now time, 'cause it seems like a recession is like on the horizon. It's like things aren't looking so good in like so many parts of the economy. It's like, ooh, that's not good. And if that happens before the midterms, well, that's effing rap. It's like before it's like, oh, Democrats' numbers aren't looking so good, and it's going to be bloodbath in the midterms. Now it's like, well, if a recession happens, it's over, man. Like, but that it's like, yeah, dude, it just sucks because it just snowballs. Because it's like if that happens, it's like it's like Biden already didn't really get like a lot of stuff done. So it's like, okay, well, it's like a lame duck with no House or Senate is even worse because it's like now nothing gets done, and that just like will be fuel for 2024, which is just like, dude, I don't even want to think about 2024. It's just like ugh, and just thinking about it just like it's like, man, just I really hope things don't go so bad in the midterms, but it's like there's like nothing happening. It's like this is why people are just not happy. It's like, okay, well, what? Yeah, like how has my life improved from? But then it's whatever. It's just talking about it and thinking about it. Just like it's like gets me in such like a pessimistic mode. I just don't like to, and it's just like oh, if we didn't have Mansion and Cinema and the Senate Parliamentarian, we could get some stuff besides nothing. Well, not nothing, but like infrastructure will be like, which takes a long time versus the BBB stuff that would have had impact and actual tangible, affecting people's lives as opposed to, oh, here's a bridge that's going to take XYZ long to like build or whatever. You can't immediately have that impact. So it's just like, yeah, not very much of a win. It's whatever, dude. I'm just, yeah, it sucks. Continuing the theme from last time. So yeah. Also, if you're wondering, like, oh man, Tegan, where's all your facial hair? That's why. Cause I had to effing. Actually, it's funny because like I didn't even have to like do a job interview. I just had to like fill stuff out online, and I got it. And I was like, dude, I didn't even have to like interview for it. And like I could have just had my sweet like long beard still. Now it's gone. I cut it off for nothing. But at least I got my sweet on top still, right? I mean, for now, right? Until it's like, oh, until I sell out, and it's like, oh, well, I think my job was like, you need to look professional or whatever, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay, and I cut all my hair off. So, but yeah, that's it for China Tech, I guess I do still want to have like another type of weekly thingy every week, but I mean, I guess like we're recording more often with Buff and the other podcast, but it's like like I still need to scratch that itch in my brain of just like talking about just games like at least once a week. But it's like I I had a plan for that. It just during the pandemic I just haven't. It's like in my brain. Another one of those plans that's just like I haven't got around to it. So another reason to take a break and get all this stuff. Yeah, there's a word for that I can't think of. I'm just I'm over. I'm done with this video. It's like get all my plans laid out, get them all on a nice list, and then just check them off. And yeah, it's like way easier said than done. Cause like saying it is like one thing, actually doing that stuff is just it's a whole ordeal. But yeah, that is it for chatting with Tekken this time. I will try to get some videos up on the channel, some streams up on the channel. Cause yeah, I'm still bummed out and feeling down, but that's just more reason to play video games, right? So hopefully that fills the void in my soul from all the existential dread I have about everything else. Oh, I didn't even talk about effing Russia and Ukraine, man. I remember I talked about that like way long ago before the war even like happened on the podcast with Buff, and then it's like, yep, it happened. It's like I wasn't expecting it to happen, so I'm just glad. Well, that's the thing, right? It's like now it's like a proxy war, so it's like we're just like arming Ukraine and like effing their. It's like in their their war with Russia because Russia's like just trying to like reclaim territory. Well, not reclaim really. They're just trying to like annex them more. So, but then it's like that's a whole thing of like, well, I just hope it doesn't escalate to the whole nuclear level because that would be that's a wrap. So what a time to be alive. A billion and however many years of civilization I get to live in this time where everything's okay. Not everything sucks, but it's just like, come on, man. Like, pandemic's not even over, and there's like a flipping proxy war with effing Russia, where it's like threat of nuclear war is like on the table, just or like it's like within reason of like happening. It's like it's something you can like conceive of happening. It's just like, ugh, why? Whatever. I mean, I get like, yeah. Well, okay, I'm just gonna fuck. I'm in it there before I start talking about all this like fatalistic and like um what's the other word? It's like nihilistic and fatalism. If you like if you know the meme, that's like what I'm always thinking of, like with the two hands. They're not like this, but like like the one where they're like from like one side and like the other. It's like fatalism, nihilism. It's like my mental health. That's like if I could make a meme, that is like always where I'm at. But yeah, that is it. With I don't know if I mentioned this, but I should have talked about it. Talked about like the videos at the top, but like all the D&D from our current campaign, those are all in the can. So those are all scheduled to go up until we finally like record the end of our main scenario. I'll probably like stop recording them after that too, just because it's kind of a pain to like keep it all scheduled. Because those are, I mean, those ones are behind. We did have like some other campaigns going. We had like some side campaigns, and I'm kind of annoyed now because I didn't record them. And we actually finished one, so I could have like actually had one of our like longer side campaigns recorded and uploaded, but I didn't record it. And then like we had like another part to like one of our side campaigns. I recorded it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload it. I think I'm just gonna like leave it as like a two-parter for like the Mad Mushroom thing. I don't know if I'm gonna keep adding to it because it's just like I don't. I'd rather have it be finished than like have it be finished and then like add on to it, and then like it might just keep going and like maybe we never finish it. So there's that one. Yeah, like the Mad Mushroom campaign and like the Salem campaign that we did. Those are done. I don't know if I uploaded them and made them public, but the main one, Dungeons and Gappers, those ones are all on the canon schedule to go up every Monday until they're all uploaded. But they're not. It's not done yet because we haven't actually recorded the ending. So once that's done, I'll schedule that one too, or those ones too, and then that'll be that. But those are going up. Those go up every Monday at noon. There's already a playlist of them. But whatever. Okay, I'm gonna end this now because it's over 30 minutes here. So yeah. So yeah, that is it for chatting with Tekken, April 2022. Wow, I think I said that wrong. 2022. That's it for chatting with Tekken for April 2022. So until next month in May, until you see or hear from me again, thanks for watching. I am now signing off.